A very warm welcome here to ARCORE Germany and to a new The Different review. And today we want to try the last Metaxa, the 5 stars. So we had already the 7 stars, the 12 stars, also the private reserve. And today the last one will be the 5 stars. So the entry-level brandy from Metaxa. And I really hope you enjoy this review. If you would like to receive some information about Metaxa, then have a look here to this review. This was the review to the 12 stars, and as I mentioned, we had already also the 7 stars, we had also the private reserve, so almost the complete range from Metaxa. And the last one today is the 5 stars, and I would say let's start with today's review. And of course we want to have the short look to our today's bottle, how it looks like, and it's the same style like, for example, at the 7 stars, which they use here for this 5 stars. And if you watch the other reviews, you probably know already that the star stands for the age of the brandy. So in this case, 5 stars, 5 years old. And yes, it's of course the original bottling from the island Samos, from Greece. They use French oak cask in which they mature their brandy, and they use the muscat grape here for the brandy. 38% is the ABV, 70 centiliters the bottle size, but you will also get it in different sizes, I think also in 150 centiliter bottles, I think I saw it somewhere. And they use some Mediterranean herbs and some rose petals. So they put these ingredients into the cask and mature the brandy with these ingredients, and also some caramel for the unique color. And the bottle price is something around 10–11 euro. And yeah, this were all now the information in advance to the Metaxa 5 stars. We start with the tasting. So before we start now with the tasting, just one little notice. If you like, subscribe my channel, and of course if you also like the review today, would be also very if you leave a thumb up. And yes, so you can see here the big bottle. Of course I also bought myself a big bottle, because yes, we're talking here about, I just mentioned 10–11 euro about for a bottle, and yeah, this makes no sense to buy a sample from this Metaxa 5 stars. And actually, so the bottle looked very nice in my opinion, and very long, nice designed bottle. So also very unique and special design, high recognition value here if you have it at on the shelf or on your bar, and looks very nice, of course. So color-wise, we don't need to look here at this brandy because it is colored. And now we want to look to the first nose flavors which we can find here. And interesting will be to see now, if you watched the other reviews from Metaxa, I had here sometimes a little bit this artificial taste, especially in the palate. And now we want to see if we can find it here again, or if it's a little bit smoother, maybe not that artificial taste here. And also, of course, so I have the theory that, we have here 5 years of maturation, and I don't know how long they put the rose petals and also the Mediterranean herbs inside the cask. If it is for the complete time of the maturation or for a shorter period, I don't know. I don't have this information. But I mentioned in another review, so I think if it's a little bit shorter time, then maybe this artificial taste is not that intense, but this is just speculation. If we want to see now to the first nose aromas here, what we can find. Yeah, so it's a little bit here, this artificial taste or influence, but maybe not that intense. So I have some nice oranges. A little bit of some rose petals are here. Yes, they are present. And maybe something a little bit like a rosemary. So by the way, we have only 38%, and for this brandy is quite intense here on the nose. Because in my opinion, a spirit needs to have at least 40% ABV, but in this case, it's acceptable. You get the flavors, you have a little bit of the intensity. Okay, let's try it. Yamas. Yeah. So on the palate you have more of this artificial taste again, unfortunately. Sweet palate, rose petals are again here. You get a strawberry, and the strawberry I had also, I think it was at the 7 stars or private reserve, I also had this strawberry taste here on the palate. A little bit of some apricot, and if you like, some thyme here. Yeah, so palate wise, but this artificial taste on the palate is for me a little bit too much. And finish wise gets a little bit better again. So you have nose is good and finish palate is a little bit worse, and then finish is a little bit better again, with some nice caramel, with some dried pears, and had an association to some Ricola candy here. Yeah. Yeah, so palate wise, difficult, but nose and finish are okay. And I could imagine that you have here a shorter period of these herbs and rose petals in your cask, and that this artificial taste is a little bit less intense. Just speculation. And of course I would be so interested to try this brandy from Metaxa without these additives, just a pure maturation of the muscat wine in combination with the French wood cask. That would be very interesting to taste, and I'm quite sure that I would prefer this brandy then definitely more. So yeah, what is left after the tasting here from these Metaxa brandies? I think it depends a little bit what you would like to do with this brandy. If you would like to pour it in a cocktail, then you can definitely use the 5 stars, absolutely fine for that. I don't think you need to pay more here for the 7 stars or even for the 12 private reserve. Definitely not. If you would like to enjoy the brandy pure, and you are not sure if this is the taste or your taste, then you can start with the 5 stars and see if you like these flavors. And if you like these flavors, then you can go to the 12 stars or maybe even also the private reserve, and to find out if this brandy is something for you. But then I would recommend you really to start with the 5 stars, because you have similar flavors here in the 5 stars, also on the 7, 12 stars. So these flavors are quite on a similar level. To be honest, the 12 stars even for me was a little bit worse than the 7 and also the 5 stars. So I don't think I gave some points to the 12 stars, but I think for me the 12 stars, so from these 4 Metaxa brandies, the 12 stars is for me the worst. But yeah, not 100% convinced here from this brandy. So let's have a look here at the end to the points. So we have 22 points for the nose, 20 points for the palate, 21 for the finish, and also 21 for the overall impression. So we have 84 points. And I think also so we are here the same level with the 7 stars and with the private reserve. I think we are also here at 83, 84 points for the other 2 Metaxa brandies. So and here we are on this similar level. Of course, we don't have here a lot of complexity compared to the 12 stars or even private reserve, less complexity. But for me, this artificial taste is a little bit less, and this is also why the reason the brandy gets here some more points, though it has not this big complexity. And yes, so let me know your experience with Metaxa, if you tried some brandies from this producer. What was your favorite brandy from Metaxa, or is there another Greek brandy maybe you can recommend me, which I can try here at a different review? And yeah, so we are at the end. Of course, I really hope you enjoyed watching it, and I wish you a wonderful and great time, and see you next time here at ARCORE.